So you can't give up on love, right? You got to focus in on what you can control, your attitude, so how you believe, how you think, and the effort you put behind it. And the universe is not going to align you with just anybody anyway.
Welcome to the podcast.
Glad to be here. Thank you for the invite.
So who am I talking to today?
You were talking to a guy named Andre Taylor.
Andre Taylor.
Yes. A guy from Delaware.
Delaware.
Yeah, first state. I didn't know there were any black people in Delaware.
And Delaware.
Yeah.
There's black people there?
There are a lot of black people in Delaware. There's me, there's my mom.
Oh,
dad.
good.
Yeah.
You got your whole address, like the whole road is yours, right?
The whole state. I claim the whole state of Delaware.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, Delaware guy, went to East Carolina, played football, ran track, ended up in Raleigh. Working for IBM at the time. Yeah. It was a long time ago. But my journeys took me from Raleigh to New York for a couple of years.
What part of New York?
Endicott, New York. So right outside of Binghamton, maybe an hour south of Syracuse.
I don't know where that's at.
That's
north.
That is north, like upstate of
Okay.
New York. Yeah.
Okay.
And it gets really cold up there.
Yeah, snow.
I remember I came from Raleigh. They took me on it was a recruiting trip up in May. So I flew up there. Weather was perfect. It was like maybe 65, 70, sunny. So I move up there and I get there and it's maybe October. October in Raleigh is 70s, 75s.
Yeah.
Not in upstate New York. It was like maybe
20.
40. Got down to 20 at night, 30. It got so cold one time. This had to be maybe November, December. My nose hairs froze up. Have you ever had that happen to you?
No.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
I was in Canada one time, and it was like 10 degrees below zero. But it didn't feel that cold. Like it was cold, but it wasn't like cold. But I went to snowmobile in Montana, and it was probably like 10 degrees, and it was freezing. It was like a wetter snow. It was like a wet cold. Does that make sense? Then there's dry cold.
Right.
And dry cold to me is almost like going to Arizona, Las Vegas, and it's 110 outside. You know it's hot, but it ain't Texas hot.
That's right.
Texas hot is humid,
That's right.
hot. Like you walk outside, you're like burning. And so that's kind of how I look at the coldness. So I guess up where you were is more of a wetter cold.
It was a wetter cold. It was just cold. I'm not built for the cold. I don't have a lot of meat.
So you ran track.
I did.
What'd you run?
I ran the 100, 200. I wasn't that fast. I realized when I got to college. There's cats a lot faster. So I ran the 100, the 200. I tried the 400. My stamina wasn't where it needed to be.
Right.
So I ended up leaving track and playing football.
Okay.
Yeah. So which football was a natural fit for me because I played in high school.
DB?
DB. Yeah, I played corner.
Right.
94 Liberty Bowl.
Well, you about a Liberty Bowl?
I went to the Liberty Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah,
You played on TV?
I was on TV for a hot minute.
And you played for East Carolina?
ECU, yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
Purple.
Yeah. Purple and gold.
Yeah, man.
The Pirates.
I went to Western Carolina.
Okay. You the other Carolina.
Yeah, I was the one that nobody wanted to go to. I was in the mountains where it was cold.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was in a valley. I enjoyed Western Carolina. It was a cool little town.
Cool school, I heard.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
We're close to the same age. So you graduated college in what, 96?
96.
Yep.
Yeah.
I graduated in 94.
Okay.
And I played on the rugby team.
Really?
Yeah. I tried to play football, and then I realized, like you just said, that college was a different level.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, nah. The coach looked at me. What happened is I got to college, and there was nothing going on in the summer. I went basically from high school. 2 weeks later, I was in college. And I went there because my SAT scores weren't very well. So they let me in early to kind of go, hey, get a little head start on this thing, see if you can really enjoy college. So I got there and I enjoyed it. And everybody was working out. The football team, track team, everybody was like doing their summer camps and things. And I was like, man, I really like it. We were doing little going down tubing, down the rivers. And then I made it through kind of what their summer training. It was like I guess it wasn't mandatory, but a lot of the team was there working out, doing summer classes. So what I found out is all the athletes were taking their summer classes and taking the hard classes. So when they got back in the fall, like football season, they could take a lighter schedule.
Right. That's right.
So they take the harder classes in the summer, and then take their pottery barn, that kind of
gym class,
art.
Yeah,
all the easy stuff.
Yeah, the schedule is so demanding. So you want to make
and then
sure
the coach looked at me, and I loved the gym. I just love living in the gym. I love to work out.
Yeah.
And I'm a meathead, and so I went out to the gym all the time, worked out with the guys. And then the coach said, "Hey, start trying out." He said, "Yeah, I've got a little football experience. I played back in the day." And he's like, "Yeah, come on out with us." And he looked at me and he goes, "Man, we got room for you on the practice squad." And I said, "Oh, okay, cool." And he looked at me and he goes, "Man, you'd probably be a good starter your senior year." And I said, "All right." I go, 1, 2, 3. I said, "Nah, no thanks, man. I'm good."
Too long, right?
I was like, "Bro, I don't need to be a test drive dummy for 4 years. I probably won't have anything left."
Right.
And but no, it was fun. I just loved the camaraderie in a locker room.
Yeah.
I really just missed that.
Yeah.
And as an athlete, that's just really what you miss.
Yeah, it's a family. It's a family affair.
It's a core value.
You're spending so much time with those teams, those people. I mean, you can't help it be the family. I mean, you fight like family. You love each other like family. It's the whole nine.
You fight everything.
Fight like everything. Yeah. You look like you can still play rugby.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still play?
No.
No.
I do this very well. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. It's working. Keep doing it. Yeah.
Now, I hit the gym about 6 a.m. every morning.
Okay.
When I'm in town, I travel quite a bit. But I try to fast during the day, just keep lean, I'm 49 years old, man. I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm fighting that old man off. It's one of those things it's inevitable to get older, but you don't have to be old.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's the working out, it's the watching what you eat.
Sure.
It's mental fitness as well, right? Take care of your mind, because when you're stressed out, when you're worried a lot, you look older.
You do.
Yeah. So you got to take care of your body overall.
You got no wrinkles, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
I mean, I'm jealous. I love my ancestry, I do, but I wish they would have blended with somebody to give me some color. Indians, I mean, something. I don't care. I mean, my pigment I don't know. I show every wrinkle.
Right.
But So anyway, you're the only black person in Delaware.
I'm the only black person.
And you moved to Raleigh.
That's right.
And you work for IBM.
That's right.
And you do CrossFit.
I do CrossFit 4 days a week, roughly.
I love it.
I love it, man. I tell you, CrossFit's one of those things where I'll work out consistently.
Yeah.
I may get hurt every so often.
Yeah.
But I'll
trying
get
to
right back
trying to
into
be
it.
too young.
Yeah, it's because you're in there with 20-year-olds, early 30s,
Right.
and I'm a competitor.
Right.
So I'm like, I can still beat you.
Yeah.
Or at least I feel like that
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
mind. And in a lot of cases, I can.
Right.
But there's some things your body just.
I was in the gym, I don't know, a couple months ago. There was this dude in there. I don't even know. He was a young kid, 20-something. And he was trying to bench press 3 plates, right? And I was doing 135, and I'm just repping it out, right? He looks over there. I mean, I thought he was going to break his sternum, and his back was arched. And he got off the machine, and I just went over to him. I put my arm around him. I said, "Hey, man," I said, "I need you to do me a favor." He goes, "What?" I said, "I don't want you to ever do that again." He goes, "What?" And I said, "I've seen friends of mine come in the gym years ago when I was younger, and they had to be crawled and ambulanced out of here because they broke their sternums and they've hurt themselves, their back." And I said, "I want you to do me a favor." He goes, "What?" I said, "I want you to take a 10-pound plate and I want you to put it on your chest, and I want you to hit that first and then push up, because they're trying to bounce it off their chest, right? So I said, you got to touch it and then push it.
Right.
And I said, but you got to keep your ass on the bench and you got to keep your back on the bench. And I said, then you ain't going to be able to do 3 plates.
That's right.
You're going to barely be able to do 2 plates. And he goes, all right, cool. And I said, but I want you to do me a favor. I said, how many times can you do 135? And he goes, I don't know. And I said, you got a few minutes? I go, you want to get your chest big, right? He goes, yeah. I said, do you think I got a big chest? He goes, yeah. I go, do my workout. So I went over there, and on a good week, I can do 5 sets of 50 of 135. 5 sets of 50 reps.
In one sitting?
In one sitting. So I'll do 5 sets of 50.
Wow. Okay.
So
all right.
It's blood flow. Okay.
Yes.
So on a off week, I'll do 25 reps. and I'll do what's called half reps.
Okay.
Where I'll go down halfway.
Yep.
And it's time under tension.
Yep.
Just like a little pop, 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 pop,
Yep.
and then put it back on the rack. Then I'll go over to the bench, and I'll take dumbbells, and I'll rep those out. I'll take like 40s or 50s. Doesn't matter. Just something you can do. Just get a nice pump. Do 25 times. Then I go to incline. I do it 25 times. Then I go over to decline and do it 25 times. All 135.
Really?
He did one set, made it to incline, said I can't feel my chest. And I looked at him and I said, I think your chest grew 3 inches.
He's like, really?
I said, you go do this workout right
Yeah.
here. And then next month, come in here and put 225 on there. I said, you'll do it 20 times. And he goes, what? I said, let me show you a video of me. I was 100, maybe 225. I was about 225 pounds.
Okay.
And I lifted 225 25 times. Just repping it out like it was candy.
Wow.
Just
Right,
bang,
right,
bang,
right.
bang, bang, bang. And I was probably 44 at the time, maybe 44, 45 years old. And he looks at me and he goes, and I showed him the video. And I said, now what's more impressive to your friends? That you just barely lifted 315 with 3 plates, that you struggled, your ass was off the ground, and you were grunting and yelling? Or are you going over there and repping out 225, 15, 18, 20 times like it was candy? I said, which one's going to be more impressive? Which one's going to be more showing off? I call it showing off, okay? Because that's an exertion of strength.
That's right.
And I said, anybody in life, where are you going to lift 300, 400, 500 pounds once? You're going to have to lift a certain amount of weight over and over and over, your body weight all day long, all day long, all day long, all day long.
Right, right.
And I used to work out like a meathead back in the day, pyramiding, 10, 12, doing 12, 10, 8, 2, 4, then back up. I used to do all that kind of crap.
Yep.
Now I work out with bands
Yep.
and do all kinds of old man workouts.
Yeah, it's a different, right? Because I'm with you on that, right? I can't do the same ways that I did,
No.
in my 20s or early 30s.
Right.
But for me back then, it was all about the max. It's
Oh, yeah. What do you
to
max?
see those 345s. And back when we had the metal plates.
Yes.
You remember the metal
Oh,
plates?
yeah.
And you would hear that clink, 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 clink,
Yep.
clink, clink, clink.
Yep.
That was the sign of you've made it.
Right.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
got 3 plates on there. Like 315 for me was the benchmark.
Yeah.
225, it was 225. Did that. 315, and then I was able to get it a couple times.
Yeah.
So now,
But you did them real. You did real reps.
I did real reps. My back wasn't arched.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I wasn't about the.
What do you weigh? What are you about? 205 right now?
I'm about 175, 180.
You look-
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You're holding it like
I appreciate
big.
it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
You look
clothes.
bigger.
The clothes.
No. You got the build.
Tight shirts.
Yeah, I'm about 240, 230, 240.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you, 6'1"?
6'1" on a good day. I used to
With
be
the right
6'2". I was 6'2" at one time, man. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know.
Gravity.
I guess.
Gravity put you down.
I don't know, man. I need someone to stretch me back out.
Yeah. There was this episode on Different Strokes. Remember Different Strokes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Arnold wanted to be bigger, so
Yeah.
he was hanging in a closet,
Uh-huh.
and he would just hang there and just assume. I guess he had heard it would stretch you out. I tried that one time.
You did?
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, they didn't?
No, it didn't work.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did the one where you put your feet and go upside down. You buy the thing, those inversion tables.
Yeah.
Where you hold your feet and you hit the
Yeah.
thing and then go back down.
Yeah.
But I did hear my back crack about 10 times. So that was pretty good.
It didn't sound good.
I think it did. I don't
Look,
know.
you're still walking today, so you're
Exactly.
okay.
So what do you do right now?
So right now, I do a couple of things. I work with nonprofits to help them advance economic mobility and racial equality.
Okay.
So that's my full-time gig. And then I also am a certified relationship coach.
Okay.
So I help people there deal with relationship issues.
Okay. So let me get this correct. I'm going to be very clear.
Okay.
You're a certified relationship coach.
That's right.
And where did this certification come from?
The World Coaching Institute.
The World Coaching Institute. Where's that?
I don't know where it's headquartered. It's online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, online.
And how long ago did you do this?
2018.
2018.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
I did it because I had a podcast
Okay.
called Between Love and Hate, and we talked all about relationships.
Between love and hate.
Yes, everything, dating,
Yeah.
divorce, sex, whatever.
Oh, I love it.
So as a result of that podcast, we would get a lot of questions, and then we would get a lot of good feedback based on our podcast about our advice and my advice. So I said, hey, why not get certified and do this for, potentially a full-time job?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I fell in love with it.
That's awesome. You still do it today?
I still do it. I still coach.
You still coach?
I still coach. Yeah, I still have
How do they
clients.
find you?
Online.
Okay. And that's where?
adVancetogrow.com.
Micah, you hear that? What was the name of it?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Advance to Grow?
Yep. ADVANCE.
Gotcha. So if anybody wants to find it, they can find you there.
Yeah, they can find me there.
Now, do you do any online coaching? Do you like Zoom or?
Most of it's Zoom.
Okay,
Yeah,
most
Zoom. With COVID, right? It became all virtual.
Right.
I still do a lot of in person as well. Right.
Okay.
A lot of folks want to meet in person.
What do most people need, man? Like if I'm coming to you as a relationship and I'm coming to you, I mean, you don't have to get into personal information of your clients, but what is everybody looking for? What do they come to you for?
For healing.
Okay.
For healing, believe it or not. A lot of times what you'll find is that folks are still holding on to past negativity from old relationships, right? And they're carrying that forward into new relationships, and it's not working for them, right? So, my job, what I help folks do is to understand and unpack, well, what have you been through? What's causing you not to be able to, let's say, go out and meet somebody and have a lasting, healthy relationship? And what I find a lot of times, like I said, is they're still bringing in old baggage, or their expectations may be a little higher than, maybe the average person, right? So they're looking for more than they're bringing to the table in some cases. And a lot of it, most of my clients are women, and they say they can't find a good man, or men are not willing to commit or settle down. And in some cases that may be true, right? But I always tell them, like a deck of cards, there's always a couple of jokers you'll come across before you find your king or your queen. So you can't give up on love, right? You got to focus in on what you can control, your attitude, so how you believe, how you think, and the effort you put behind it. So even if you're meeting someone and it doesn't work out, that's okay. You can't control but so much, and the universe is not going to align you with just anybody anyway, right? And it's not supposed to. So that person just wasn't meant for you. However, if you continue to focus on yourself, meaning self-awareness, what are your values? What are your boundaries? What are the things that you are looking for spiritually, emotionally, and physically, and then rank them in order? Then now you get to start to shape the person that you most likely will be, compatible with and healthy with. And really go after that in terms of not necessarily seeking it, but if you do things that you enjoy naturally, let's say you like to dance, well, go dancing, right? You'll meet somebody most likely in that space that they like to dance as well. So now you automatically have something in common with that person. So it helps to, bridge the gap. It helps to kind of, I guess, it's a good icebreaker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you meet someone that has common interest, it makes it easy.
It does.
Like the conversations are easy, because then you got a topic that you can talk about immediately. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you the right way. Do you think monogamy is outdated?
I think it is for some people.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is for some people. I think, there's a lot of marriages, and you hear a lot of talk about open relationships, about swingers.
Okay.
Right?
What is an open relationship?
It's basically you and your wife or significant other have an agreement that, hey, we are together, but we are okay with each other seeing other people in some form or fashion, right? So maybe it's you're dating other people, maybe it's you're having sex with other people, but our base is us, right? And, it comes with different rules just depending on what you and your significant other, come to the agreement on.
Do you know many people like that?
I don't personally know.
Okay.
But, celebrities.
Oh, a lot of celebrities.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities.
Does that seem to be very common in the celebrity world, right?
Yeah. So, but, and maybe some people do it just on the low, right? So, you see more of that. You hear about more of that. And then you just hear about folks just wanting to try something different. So swingers, right? That's big from what I hear these days. Right?
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
And to your point, right? Monogamy, right? It's like having, for some people, steak every day.
Do you think that a man can be 100% faithful to one woman his whole life?
I think yes, but that man has to be truly just focused and committed. I mean, he has to be, not that he won't be tempted. He just has to be in a place where he's just doesn't want it anymore.
See, I think that, now I could be totally wrong, but this is just an opinion that I've gathered over many years of experience just dealing with friends, relationships like you.
Mm-hmm.
I see women changing.
Mm-hmm.
Women now seem to be a lot more open to telling men, hey, I'm just having casual sex. I'm dating multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
And the men are like, what's going on? The tide has turned
right.
here. Like,
That's
what is
right.
going on?
That's right.
That used to be a man thing.
That's right.
I think the women have always done it. They just didn't speak about it.
That's right. It
Isn't
was
that right?
taboo. Taboo.
It was taboo.
Yeah, it was taboo. You were called names if you did that.
Right.
You were frowned upon. It was a double standard.
It was way double standard.
And I don't think men's ego can handle that. A lot of men. I'm not going to generalize.
But a lot of men's ego can't handle
can't
it.
handle that, right? You
Yep.
can't. A lot of them can't handle the fact that their woman is going to be with someone else outside of them, right? Because we're territorial, right? Think about the lion and the lionesses, right?
Right.
The lion has up to 9 lionesses in its pride. He mates with each one of them. They hunt. He eats first. But if another man is to come in there,
He's killing them.
he's killing them. If that lioness were to wander away and get pregnant by another male lion and have cubs, he's going to kill those cubs.
No.
Yeah, he's going to kill the male cubs.
This is true.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was in Kenya, did a safari, and the guy was telling us. So lions are very territorial. I think some men follow that same path in terms of they just don't want anybody else, another man with their woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
I look at it as a compliment that if another man wants my woman, I'm like, hell yeah.
Really?
I think it's a compliment.
Is it a compliment that he wants her, or is it a compliment that he's able to get her and wants to?
I don't think they're going to get her. Like I'm so confident in who I am. I'm not intimidated by another man.
Gotcha.
Ever. So
Right.
if another man can come in, I'm almost got the mentality like, I hope you learned something. But he's not me.
Yeah.
I almost like, he's not me.
Yeah.
Like, you can test drive every car out there, but it's not my
Not
car.
true.
It's
Yeah.
I'm me. Like I know what I bring to the table. I
Right.
know who I am. I'm confident
That's right.
and I'm secure.
Yes. All right.
And so I think when you're secure and confident in who you are as a person, I don't ever feel threatened by anybody. And if you can take what I have, it's yours.
It's yours.
Because I never had it.
That's a good point. I like that, Mike.
I never had it.
Mhm.
So
I like that.
If someone wants to test drive another car, I always look at it like cars, and this is very unique. I've always said, and this is just a guy thing, right? We're guys talking.
Mm-hmm.
And if women are listening to this podcast, I may offend them, and I don't mean any offense to it, but I'm just going to give you the analogy of locker room talk. I'm just going to give it to you in like a locker room.
Right.
There's trucks, 4-wheel drive diesel truck, lifted, beautiful, nice. I get in, it's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Love going on my trips with my truck. My truck's comfortable. It's like a lazy boy. You get in it, it's reliable. It's good transportation.
Right.
Okay. I know what it can do. I can go to Home Depot, Lowe's. I can pick up wood. I can haul things with it.
Right.
I can go get a trailer, camper on a long trip.
Right.
Then I've got my 4-door sedan that, I just want to get in, put the kids in it. Let's go. Just keep everybody quiet. Let's go. And then on Sunday, I've got my GT500. And this car, the back tires are about $500, $600, $700 a piece. The brakes are this big. It's 760 horsepower. Not everybody can handle that car.
Right. Right.
It takes a man to drive it. Okay, it takes a man to own it.
Right. Right.
And I'm only saying that to be funny, but when you get in that car says drive the fuck out of me. Like I get in it, it rumbles. I go off the exit. You cannot go the speed limit in that car. You just can't.
Right.
You get in that car. I don't care if you put the foot down just an inch, and it's going, I want to eat. So when you go 60 is like, I'm hungry.
Right.
I want 80.
Right.
80's hungry. I want 100. So I look at it like this. You got the Sunday car that you just want to go for an hour and blow the fucking wheels off of it.
Right.
You want to ride it hard.
Right.
But not everybody can afford to own that car. Tires are expensive. 93 octane gasoline. Insurance is very high on the car. Car was $100,000. It's expensive. Got to keep it waxed. Got to keep it clean. Got to keep it, looking tight. Then you got your truck. It's just reliable. You get in it every day. You're comfortable. It's steady. Something you can rely on. So I always say in the locker room, every man needs a truck and a sports car. But the sports car ain't the one he owns. The ones that he wants to rent. So there's things that you can do with your partner that your truck is. It's reliable. It goes on long journeys. It does most everything you want it to do, but it's not a sports car.
I like it.
You know
I
what I
like
mean?
the analogy. I love that, right? And here's what I would say to that, right? I agree. The key is to be honest and be upfront, right?
upfront.
That's what you have to do, right? A lot of people go wrong, and I used to do the same thing, try to run game and say and lie and don't, No, here's my situation. I'm not looking to settle down.
Right.
I'm just out here dating and having a great time.
Right.
When you put that out there, now you give this woman or this man a choice.
Sure.
If they choose to be with you and ride with you, then they understand what the situation is. Right? It makes it so less complicated.
Why is it so hard for people to do that?
They don't want to hurt people's feelings. They feel like maybe, if I tell the truth, I won't be able to get what I want to get. There's probably a multitude of different reasons, right? But ultimately, it boils down to you just being upfront and being a man or a woman and just being honest, right?
Right.
It's just, it is what it is, right? And if you can do that, then I think you'll be a lot better off, and you will attract the kind of people that you want,
Right.
And it's fun.
You're married now, right?
No, I'm divorced.
How long?
14 years.
You've been divorced 14 years?
Mm-hmm.
Never getting remarried?
I may one day.
Are you in a relationship now?
Yeah. So I'm dating someone now. And yeah, we've talked about marriage, and I'll do it again.
You think so?
Yeah, I'll do it.
What'd you like about being married?
I love the stability. I love the having someone to be emotional with, right, and talk to someone about, and just be open and vulnerable. You can't be vulnerable with everybody, and knowing somebody has my back, and I love the support. Right, so all those things for me just made it work, and then I had a son too, so I wanted to make that work.
Is that something you can have without being married?
To a certain extent, you can. If you make that, if you define that, right? So a lot of people have companions. You can have a companion that you travel with, you hang out with, you talk to, but you're not committed, right? You're not necessarily somebody. It's not somebody that you marry,
Right.
but you got to just establish that, and it's hard sometimes for people to separate the physical and the emotional. A lot of times, what'll happen is you'll say, "Hey, I just want to date, hang out." You start to get emotional, you start to get physical, right? And then it's hard to separate the two. So a lot of times what happens is you'll start out one way, and then it'll change. Somebody will catch feelings, and then, it either goes south, you guys go apart, or you come together because you both got feelings, and you stay together.
You're a religious person?
I'm religious, more spiritual.
More spiritual?
Yeah, more spiritual.
The state and the government getting involved in a marriage. What do you think about that? Like, see, the problem that I've got is I don't have a disbelief in marriage.
Right.
I have a disbelief in why the government and the state needs to be involved in my commitment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making a contract.
Mm-hmm.
I'm signing a contract between another person and myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's a business relationship,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. So it should be a business agreement. And in business agreements, regular lawyers can look at the piece of paper and go, okay, well, this is what's your business and what's not your business.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be determined that you now no longer want to be in business. Go down to the courthouse
Mm-hmm.
and go sign a piece of paper and get married in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be separated for a year and 1 day to file for divorce.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Cheaper to keep her.
But I'm
Cheaper
just
to
saying,
keep her,
but
yeah.
why, where did that rule come in?
It's I think that the separation period, and I get it, right? They want to make sure that you're not reacting. It's not a knee-jerk reaction. You guys had a disagreement, an argument. You can't come to a reconciliation point. So let me give you some time to cool off. Let me give you some time to get your life together, to think about, do I really want this divorce or not?
Right.
I'll give you a year and a day to decide that, right? So now I can go out, and if I want to sow my royal oats, I'll sow my royal oats. If I want to date someone else to see if they're more compatible, I can do that. But at the end of the day, I got to come back and say, I did all that. The grass was not greener, or it was greener, and I'm going to make a decision from there. So that is why I think they put the separation into a year separation.
But it's not like that in every state.
It's not.
So why
I
is
think some states are a little bit more liberal.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. Right?
Some are more religious. Is that what it is?
More open. We're in the Bible Belt here, right? So I can imagine this state, South Carolina, I think it's the same way. Year and a half, year and some change.
I hear the Bible Belt. What does that mean?
I look at it in terms of North Carolina, like the southern states.
Okay.
typically were the more religious of the states, right?
Okay.
So I don't know where the history started with that.
Right.
Maybe it was the origin of, when life first came, or we first came over to America. But then your northern states, for whatever reason, I don't know, that not as into more liberal in the northern states.
So when you're coaching, mostly women, right?
Yeah.
They find you and you coach them in relationships, and it's usually when they've had a breakup, or it's one that they're in a relationship and they don't know if they want to take it to the next level.
I've had one, all of the above, right?
Okay.
So I've had one that's going through a divorce, trying to figure out, how do I handle this divorce? How do I move forward?
What do you tell them?
Well, there's only two things that will heal you from divorce, and that's time and an effective self-care routine, right? So time obviously there's two facets of time. There's the clock time, right? And then there's the psychological time, right? So the time you give to the past or the future. And what you'll find a lot of times is we create our own suffering and pain because we're focused on the psychological time. I'm still thinking about what that person did to me. I can't move past that. I'm worried about what this person may do to me because of what this guy did to me or girl did to me, right? So now if I'm constantly in past and future, I'm eating up psychological time that's causing that pain and that suffering versus being more present and just moving day by day and not really thinking about the past or future. Think about it, right? You don't have any stress. Your stress, your worry, your anxiety, it's because you're thinking about something in the past or future. If you think about nothing but the now, you don't have those same sort of illnesses, right? So a lot of what's happening with my clients is they're stuck there. They can't move past what happened to them. And I try to help them look at it from a different perspective to say, I can't change the past. I can't change the future. As a matter of fact, the past never really happened in the past. It happened in the present, right? The future never really happens in the future. It happens in the present, right? We're going to be talking 5 minutes from now, but we're going to be doing that in the present, right? So if you look at it from that perspective, then you just move forward in life, just focusing on what you can control. Like I said earlier, your attitude and your effort. And then you allow life to unfold the way it's designed. I had to learn that. Right?
How long did it take you to learn that?
It took me years. That's why it took me a while to heal. It took me a while. It took me about 2 years because I was still, my ego was all, into it. So I was still dealing with that negativity from the past. And that carried into my future relationships. So I was dating people and not being the authentic Andre because I was still wrestling with that thing inside, right? So once I started to realize what was happening, I had to step back. I took a hiatus from dating, right? I had to stop sex, right? I became abstinent for a period of time because I had to get to what really, for me, what was foundational to know me, right? Because if you've been married for a long time, you lose yourself, right? You're trying to please your partner and you got kids maybe. Now that I'm by myself, what do I like? Who am I? I'm not the same person at 35 that I was at 22 when we met, right? So if I can do that, then now I'm able to be just more authentic with who I am as a person. And then I'm able to meet authentic people, right? Because energy attracts, right? What I focus on, that's what I'm going to attract. And I was focusing on, number one, me, and then two, just growing myself. And if somebody were to come along and want to be a part of that, okay, cool, you can rock with me. If not, pieces. Right, deuces. I'm not worried about that. Yeah,
a lot of people don't have that confidence. They just don't have the confidence.
Yeah.
Who gave you all your confidence?
I think it was a combination of just talking to people that had been through divorce, right? Because not saying that I was always that confident when I was going through my divorce. I had my fears of failure and embarrassment, right? I had that, but just knowing that I got through it and talking to other people who had gotten through it as well. Well, shit, if they can get through it, I can too, right? And then that mindset started to shift, and I started just being more open and stepping outside my comfort zone. So once I stepped outside my comfort zone, meaning I stopped dating certain types of people, right? Because I was always on a mold. I wanted, you got to look this way. You got big titties, pretty face. Big head. No, let me find a connection with you first.
Right.
And then everything else will fall in place. Not that you could be a mud duck, right? So
what's a mud duck?
Just imagine a duck's face in the mud. That's a mud duck.
I got you. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't want a mud duck, right? I wanted somebody that I was physically attracted to, but she didn't have to be Miss USA.
Right. I know a friend of mine was telling me he likes fixer-uppers.
Okay. All right.
They're damaged, but they're loyal. Once he always had problems with loyalty. So he would find the ones that have the bone structure, like a house. It's got the bones, just needs to be renovated.
Right.
So he would turn around and, get them in the gym, work them out, get their confidence up,
Yeah.
get their hair done, get their nails done, dresses, and then all of a sudden he feels like, he's got a new shiny car. You know what I mean? And that's
Okay.
now not his project, but somewhat a project. But now he's very happy in that new home. It's like a remodel.
Okay.
And a friend of mine actually went through this. Like, he went through a divorce.
Okay.
And then he found a girl that was a little bit heavy,
Mm-hmm.
a little down on herself. She had gone through a divorce. Self-esteem was low. Got her back in the gym, got her teeth whitened. I mean, just all the little things that she's always wanted to do to improve herself. And then all of a sudden, they improved together.
Yes.
And then they saw that togetherness is what bonded them long term.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because deep down, I'm still a fat kid. I grew up fat. I grew up like a little fat kid.
You?
Me, yeah.
Get
yeah,
out of here.
I swear,
Oh,
bro.
Man, you got to show me some pics.
Yeah, I was fat.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I was picked on. I was Shoney's boy. I was everything. Man.
Really?
Yeah, man. It did more damage to me years later than it did when I was young.
Okay.
I think when I was young, I didn't realize I was hurt, but I didn't realize what it really did to me psychologically.
Yeah.
And then it pushed me to want to be in martial arts. It pushed me to want to be confident. It pushed me to want to be never fat again. It made me, I've always wanted to be in the gym working. I never want to be that guy again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And like, you would talk to girls and they were like, oh, it's like, I'm not trying to be anything I'm not. But it took me 49 years to finally just say, what, I'm just me now. But mentally, for years and years and years, I was damaged.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does.
And so I can understand and I can relate to people who have been there. So when you see like a person that was heavy, that came out of it and like worked their ass off. I heard a story, I don't know exactly where I heard it, but it was like, all right, you have this dude, right? Big fat dude. And all your buddies are over there making fun of him. And he's out there walking around the track. I can't remember. I think it was a podcast I heard this on. I can't remember, but it was a guy talking about it. And it resonated with me. Everybody else is running sprints in the gym, working out. This dude, every day, he's just walking around the track.
Right.
Just walking around the track. Not running.
Right.
Not working out. But he walked himself to skinny. Took time. Time.
Yep.
And I heard this on a podcast, and I can't remember which one it was, or someone had told me that story, but it just resonated with me. It was like, consistency is everything.
Yes.
You don't have to not have the dessert.
Yes.
You don't have to not treat and indulge yourself. You just have to do everything consistent. Like if you go to the gym, you don't have to go there and work out for 3 hours.
Yes.
Just be consistent.
Yes.
If you're consistent, you will see results.
Yes. People don't change unless they have a compelling enough reason to.
Absolutely.
So the pros in your mind have to outweigh the cons in order for that change to take place, right? Otherwise, you'll do something for 3 months. You think about people that go into the gym January 1st, by April, May, where are they?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Right. So you got to have a compelling enough reason to maintain that sense of lifestyle, right? And you
Right.
did, right? So you had a compelling enough reason. You didn't want to be fat, right? So you
I got tired of being picked on.
and picked on, right?
I just got tired of being picked on, bullied.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like extreme, but it was just annoying.
Yeah.
It got to the point where it was enough.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, and then I'm sick of this shit. Like,
And you
all
do
right,
something about it.
yeah, it's time.
And I think, I think we all have to go through something in life.
You ever had a traumatic experience?
Yeah, my divorce.
That was it.
Yeah, that was the most traumatic. Outside of my mom passing, which I was older. She passed a couple years ago. The divorce changed me. It changed me.
Yeah. When did you get married? What year?
I was.
How old were you?
I was 28, 29.
Right.
Late 20s.
But was that the right time, do you think? Do you think a man needs to wait or relationships need to wait till they're 30? Because I think after looking back, I got married at 24.
Oh, you were young.
Yeah, I was young. And I was insecure.
Yeah.
I got married for a lot of different reasons. Yeah. And I just wanted, like you said, stability.
Yeah.
And what happened is later in life, I started realizing that it's not aligned. Our alignment's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I want to do different things. I want to be more ambitious, and I need a better fuel source. And I think the fuel source that I originated was good to get me to a certain level. But later in years, and I see this a lot, that 20 to 40, you can align. But from 40 to 60, the alignment's not the same. And people venture out. A lot of people get divorced right around 40.
That's right.
And they're just alignment different. And I think getting married before you're 30 is a big mistake.
I think it depends on not necessarily age, but experience and maturity.
But how much experience can you have from 20 to 30?
You
graduate college, or you go to college. You're working on your career. You're trying to. I mean, even women. One of my best friends I grew up with, his daughter graduated from Chapel Hill. She's a nurse. Beautiful young lady. Had a high school boyfriend. They got back together after she got her job in nursing, got her own apartment. And she's been working in her nursing career, I think, a year. Went through college, pregnant. Not that it's going to slow her down or change her life, but now it's like, did she give herself enough opportunity in her career? Now she's feeling like, oh, God, I got to get married. Oh, now I'm having a baby.
Right.
Now I feel I could be totally wrong. These are really good friends of mine, and I'm not trying to speak on their behalf.
Right.
But as an observer, I'm sitting here going, God, you just had your life right there where you didn't give it yourself enough you time.
Yep. I think so. Like I know a couple of people from high school that got married. They met their husband or wife in high school, and they're still married to this day.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
there's success stories
Success stories is out there, right? So I think that there was this one quote I heard: the greatest catalyst for change in any relationship is accepting your partner for who they are without needing to judge or change them in any way.
Right.
I think what happens a lot of times is people that get married or in a relationship super early, number one, they may not know who they are as a person. Thank you. And number two, nothing living stays the same, right? So if it's living here on earth, it grows, it changes, it does something. We are no different. So as we are in relationships, regardless of your age, you're going to change, right? You're going to have different needs and different wants and desires. The question is the person who's with you, can they adapt and change with you?
That's the biggest question.
That's the biggest question.
Can they adapt?
Can they adapt and change with you? If they can't do that, then you guys are going to drift apart.
Self-growth.
Yes.
How important that is in your life?
It's super important, right? It's super important. I think it's probably the most important thing any human can do.
Do you have any mentors or coaches that help you?
I do. I have mentors that are. I have a female mentor.
Really? What's her name?
Glenda.
And what is she? What's her background?
She's in finance.
Okay.
Yeah. She works for one of my banks.
And how did you find her?
Through another friend of mine, right? So I was in the process of trying to switch careers, and a friend of mine recommended her to talk to. She introduced me, and we just hit it off like that, right? So it was not even like a business conversation. We were just talking, getting to know each other. We were building a relationship.
Sure.
I would tell her what I was about, what I wanted to do. She said, hey, why don't you try this thing here? Or she put me in situations where it gave me opportunities to get exposure. So now I have more exposure. I'm getting into the right circles, asking questions, and she's giving me, just not telling me what to do, but just giving me thoughts about what things I should or could do in order to, make that situation the best it could be.
In my line of work, I do business coaching.
Okay.
And it's automotive related.
Yep.
But it's general coaching. It's asking questions. A lot of times when I'm asking questions that people know their answers to. They just need the questions asked.
Yes.
Is that not true?
That's the same thing. Same thing I do. Yes.
Same thing, right?
Yeah. It's liberating, right? If you talk to, because I have friends that are coaches as well, right? That I talk to all the time. And just being able to bounce certain things off of them. Because, even though I'm a relationship coach, my relationship isn't 100% perfect, right?
Sure.
But we make it work, and it's great. I enjoy it. But just being able to hear different perspectives, getting away from just me and maybe what is the other person kind of thinking, how do I walk in that person's shoes? They open my eyes to certain things, right? So the coaching, to your point, asking those questions is reaffirming. You're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Whenever I look at a situation, I try to put myself in their, like I try to take myself out of my body.
Yes.
And I go, okay, I want to be you. And I'm going to go, okay, let me look at it from how you're seeing it. I want to see your picture. And then it'll explain to me a little bit more about what you're going through.
Yes.
And then I can go, okay, well, now I'm seeing it from your eyes.
Yes.
And when I see it from your eyes, I go, okay, now it's clear.
Yes.
A lot of times people just need a little kick in the ass.
That's all it is. A swift kick.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean, how many
yeah.
times that when you were playing sports that you just need a little kick in the ass?
Yeah.
You need that one
jump
coach. Name me one coach in your life that made the biggest difference.
Chuck Pagano.
And what did he do? Why did he make a big difference?
So this guy just yelled. So he yelled whether you did something great or if you did something bad. Oh my God. I remember a nice play I had. The receiver was running a post route, right? I'm coming, I read the quarterback, I see the guy in my peripheral. As soon as the receiver catches the ball, I smack him. Ball goes flying, receiver's feet go rubbing in the air. Coach Pagano just came running out. What? Yeah. I thought I did something wrong. But he was so excited that I did that. I'm like, Coach, giving me mixed signals with the yelling. But he was just that guy, right? So for me, his energy, his passion, and when you did some fucked up shit, he came after you, right?
Yeah.
But I learned so much from him because he gave 100%. And I
Every day.
knew it was genuine
Right.
because he didn't hold back, right? He wanted and that's what every coach should be. We have some coaches better than others. They should want the best for you. They should be able to see what's inside of you and bring that out or help bring that out.
100%.
100%, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love being a coach, don't you?
Yeah.
Isn't it fulfilling?
It's fulfilling. It's I feel like we have to give back. Like I feel like I've been coached in several capacities, sports, just people talking to me as a kid growing up. I got to get back. Like we got to pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and I think the youth of today needs that more than ever.
Yeah.
They need it so bad.
Yeah.
You've got kids.
I have a 17-year-old.
Yeah, I know. I saw him. He's playing football.
He's playing football. Yeah. He's
Is
trying
he
to do
good
his
at
thing.
it?
He thinks he is. He thinks he's better
Well,
than me.
No, he's never better than me. Nah. I have a 15-year-old who's 6'2", 250.
What position?
He's never played football, but he's done a little martial arts with me. He is a gamer, and he went to high school this past year. He was a freshman at Porter Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
He got in with the football team and started working out, lifting weights. And he'd been lifting weights with me and stuff. So he's been showing more interest in lifting weights. And he's, over the last 8 months, he started working out every day with the team. This summer, we were supposed to take a vacation. And he goes, Dad, I don't want to miss summer practice.
That's dedication.
Okay, but he's never played sports his whole life. He was a little kid that basically followed in my older son's footsteps, who was a motocross rider.
Okay.
And we traveled the country racing, and my son raced at the top level, the highest level in the world, or not the world, but in the U.S.
Okay.
And homeschooled trainers, coaches, nutritionists, and we put all of our eggs in that. And he saw the progression, saw what he went through, and he looks up to his older brother, which is cool. I think they're the same height now. They're both 6'2". I'm saying that to be funny, but but he's found football on his own.
Okay.
He knew I used to play. He knew that I used to be somewhat of a tough guy.
Right.
So I come into the kitchen and I'm always messing with him. I'm always hitting him. I'm like, man, you soft, man. He's
Yeah,
soft. I'm
yeah,
always
yeah,
messing
yeah,
with him, right?
yeah.
And then I'll come in and I'll tackle him in his bed. He'll be in his bed in the morning. I'll come in and just tackle him and wrestle him. I was like, you're weak. And then I said, I just mess with him, right?
Yeah.
Because I love him.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, he is going to destroy some people.
Yeah.
Like he's got that gentle giant, but also he's got that anger. Because I remember when he was a little chubby kid like me when I was growing up, but not near as bad because I kept him confident. And it was funny. We were at the beach, and there was a kid about 4 or 5 years older than him, and he was a gamer, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the kids stole his remote. He went ape shit. And he was like 12, 13 years old. Picked the kid up, body slammed him, beat him up, and got his remote back. And I was like, I just got to find what the hell he's mad so I could get him out there.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think he's going to probably play offensive line. The coaches love him.
Yeah.
He's dedicated. He's raw.
Okay.
He's teachable. He doesn't have any bad habits.
Right.
And that's what good coaches want. They want that guy that's got size, dedication, heart, and they'll coach him to be good. And
Yeah, and the fact that you're not forcing him to do it, that
I'm
makes
so-
it even better.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he found it on his own. He
Yeah.
found his own little group of kids,
Yeah.
and it was everybody's been telling him he should be playing football since he was 12.
Right.
You big, Cam. You big.
Yeah.
You need to be playing football. And he's like, oh no. And then all of a sudden at 14, oh yeah, I'm gonna be playing football.
Voice gets a little
Yeah,
different every day.
Dad,
Right.
I could kick your ass. I'm like, bro, in another year you probably will be able to kick my ass.
Let me ask you this: are you talking to him about girls and about relationships? And what are you saying?
My oldest son is in a serious relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He's loyal. He's dedicated. He's a gentleman. My oldest son cares. He's got your swagger. He's got my kind of. When you're a Type A personality and you're a people person, he's got that. Okay. My youngest son is that soft, quiet. He had a girlfriend he's been on and off with, but he's that guy that just wants to be buddies. He's not. He wants to be the buddies with girls.
Got it.
My older son is the girl, the blonde, the cutie,
Yeah.
the one that he wants the trophy.
Yep.
You know, when you're 18 years old, you want all your friends to be jealous. And you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I remember.
And when I was in college, I always dated the girls everybody else wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I always liked like the studious girls. I liked the ones that because I was always needing tutoring. And so I would go get tutored by all these like smart girls, and I'm sitting there going, wow, you're so smart. You're so cute. You're so cute. And they were natural. They didn't have gobs of makeup on.
That's right.
And like gobs of this on. And
yeah.
like they didn't spend 30 minutes doing their hair, nails every day. And they
Yeah.
would just sit there and they were just studious and they were just like real.
Yeah.
And it was just like that realness.
Yes.
I think I was attracted to the realness.
Yeah.
Where you could go in, there was no, I'm not saying ego, but there was no tension.
Okay.
And there was no trying to impress them. It was like no impression. Like she wasn't trying to impress me. I wasn't trying to impress her. We were just two people being like you and I, just talking, having fun, right? When you get around a girl, it makes you feel uncomfortable. You're like, oh no, make me eyes,
anything
hair.
in my nose.
Yeah. Hold on. Make myself look right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm tight.
Yeah.
When you're around somebody, you're just chilling. Next thing you know, a couple months into getting to know that person, you're like, man, I miss little shorty over there, And I knew I liked those type of girls, but they didn't usually like me back. I was the jock.
You was the jock. They were like, oh, he's
They're
a
like,
dog.
Yeah,
Got
I'm a
too
dog.
many.
Yeah, I'm barking all the time.
You're barking.
But they don't realize I lick really good.
That was good. That was a good one. I like that. That was a good one.
I'm the dog in the fence that barks at everybody that walks by.
Yeah.
I said, but as soon as you put your hand in the fence, I'm licking it.
You're licking it right there.
I'm all bark.
I like that.
I'm all bark.
I'm gonna use that.
I'm all
Can I
bark.
use that?
All day. Yeah, just send me the $1.99 subscription.
Yeah, right. But yeah, no, I asked those questions because, if you think about the future for our kids, right, and we're talking about relationships, right? So what are they going to be doing or saying, or how are they going to interact with women as they get older, right? And I think for me, I didn't really have anybody tell me, hey, here's some things you need to think about when you're out here dating, right? I had my mom and my stepdad, but we never really talked about the birds and the bees, all right? Well, make sure you wear a condom, man.
Right.
But we never really talked about what that really meant, right? What does it mean to be physically involved with a woman, right?
What's intimate?
What's intimate, right? To me back then, intimacy was sex.
Right.
And a lot of people, you'd be surprised, a lot of men specifically that I talk to, they think intimacy is sex. It's bigger than sex, right?
No.
And you know that, right?
Absolutely.
So it takes conversations like, when our kids are younger, so they can at least plant the seed. Now, whether or not they choose to listen, that's on them. But I'm going to at least plant the seed, and I think that's what we have to do more of, right? So that's one of my goals, is to impact my social circles. I used to coach football. I don't coach anymore, but I still have a presence with certain kids. So every time I see them, I'm throwing nuggets at them.
Yeah,
like, hey, you dating somebody? What's going on? What do you like about it? Yeah. Because it's so important. And because we do the other things, right? We talk about sports and we talk about, just random stuff that men talk about. We want to make sure that we hit them up, right? But what about the other side of the equation, right? I think we got to do more of that going forward.
I think the world is in a very changing equilibrium. It's like it was this 50s mentality to, say, the early 2000s. And then all of a sudden the internet came, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know as well as I do, because you're about the same age as me.
Mm-hmm.
You had a friend in the neighborhood, had a penthouse or a Playboy. He was the man of the week,
Yeah,
right?
Man of the week.
Now your phones, I mean, these kids have access to porn, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many social circles. What is these? Bumble,
Tinder,
TikTok, Tinder.
Yep.
I mean, it's become popular to meet people randomly and have a different partner all the time.
It is. Yeah.
Like it's become like popular.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
girls, guys, all of them.
Yes.
Like you'll go to dinner and be like, oh, I was on Tinder the other day and I went out with this dude and we smashed it. And then, he wasn't really, I wasn't feeling he was hairy.
Right.
I'll be hanging out with some,
Yeah.
some ladies or some people at the bar just talking and, inner circle friends.
Yeah.
And you'll hear conversations of like what the girls talk about.
Right.
Because the guys talk
Right,
about stuff like
right.
locker room talk. And then
Yeah.
I try to sneak in and go, what the girls talking
Yes.
about? And then the girls are talking about the same shit. But they're over there going, guy does it and he's cool. Girl does it and now the phobia is gone. Now the girls are like doing the same thing the guys are, almost worse.
They are worse. Their conversations are worse. Like their conversations are worse. They are out here doing the same thing. Some of them, not but generalized, right? Doing the same things, if not more, than guys do. And I tell women all the time, I say, listen, date multiple people.
Do your thing.
Do your thing, right? Because, again,
But like you said earlier, be honest.
be honest.
If
Yeah.
you're honest,
Yes.
then the guy and the girl have a choice.
They make a choice.
That's what you said.
Yeah,
And I love that.
yeah.
As long as people can just be honest and
Yes.
clear, say, listen, this is who I am.
Yes.
This is where I'm at in my life right now.
Mhm.
This is maybe not where I'm going to be in my life down the road.
That's right.
But this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this new person that I'm trying to evolve into. Right now, this is me.
That's right.
But that's not going to be me maybe in the future.
That's right. That's right. I look at it like the caterpillar and the butterfly, right? So the caterpillar is crawling around all life, right? Caterpillar life eating some leaves or whatever. Life's good, right? The caterpillar doesn't know that it's going to become a butterfly. It has no idea, right? So it just evolves. It gets into its little cocoon, its protective cell. And here's the crazy thing about it, right? So the caterpillar will digest the non-essential parts of itself in order to become a butterfly, right? So it gets rid of all that crap that it doesn't need and keeps what it does to become what it's supposed
Flying
to be,
high. Yeah.
right? So you go through life and you experience life. You just live life. You go through certain things because there's an ultimate transformation,
Right.
or an ultimate place you're supposed to be in life. You just haven't gotten there yet, right? So continue to experience dating, to travel, right? I love the fact that you travel because you experience, I'm sure, a lot of different cultures. You talk to a lot of
love it.
people.
I was in
and you learn a
China.
lot.
I was in London. I was in Germany. And every culture is different.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I grew up in an era where I never considered myself ever someone that looked at race. I played sports
Yep.
my whole life.
Yep.
I was on basketball teams. I had friends come over. I just looked at them as friends.
Yep.
And I was talking to some buddies, I think at the gym, and we were talking about during the riots and everybody was going crazy. And I'm like, man, when I grew up, man, nobody did this. Like, social media can be a tool or a weapon. And I feel like there's a lot of bad that's happened in this world, but the news media turns it into everyone against each other. And everybody I've ever met that I've been friends with my whole life, we all look at each other and go, bro, we never hated. As much as hate is out there today. And I'm just like, how do we mend that hate? And how do we get over that hate?
Yeah.
How do we love each other?
Yeah.
How does everybody, I just met you.
Yep. Yep.
My friend Kevin told me about
Yep,
you and
yep.
said, bro, I got a guy for
Yep,
you. He's
yep.
real. He's cool as
Yep.
shit. You're going to hit it off with him. You walked in the door, I've known you 5 minutes. We're hugging.
Yep, yep,
What's up,
yep,
bro?
yep.
Because you can feed the energy,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
And you're a genuine person. I
Yep.
can already feel it.
Yep.
And I hope you can feel that with
Yep,
me.
I do.
And it's like gravity, like you said, the universe pulls people together, right? Well, how do we pull better people into the people that have so much hate? And, I will slap a bad mood off somebody in a second. Because I'm gonna, because I'm gonna smile at them and I'm gonna be nice and I'm like, man, I'm gonna find something to say confident about them. Oh man, you look beautiful. Your eyes look good. I mean, I'm gonna find something to get a smile out of that person.
Yeah.
That's my agenda. Like when I see somebody in a bad mood or something, I'm sitting here. I don't care if I'm on a bus or I'm on a tram in the airport. I'll look at somebody that looks like they're having a bad day, and I'll go, I love that hat, man. Or hey, where you traveling to? And I'll make a conversation. I'll make a joke. And I wanted to do stand-up comedy, and I want to do open mic nights, right?
Okay.
But girlfriend tells me I'm better at the rebuttal. I'm better at like when somebody says something, then I make the comeback.
Then the starter.
Yeah, I'm not the starter. I'm the comeback guy. So she's like, "You'd be hilarious if we could just record all your comebacks."
Right.
I'm like, "Damn it."
Well, you gotta go get a try. At least
Yeah,
try
I want
it,
to,
right?
man. It's funny. I got a lot of little funny humor
I
jokes.
think the Comedy Zone, don't they do
open mic night? Yeah, I want to do it because I do stand-up. Not stand-up. I do some speaking engagements.
Really?
Yeah, and I've been in front of lots of people on stage and talked, and I'm just like, you know what? If I started doing stand-up comedy, I could work on my stage presence and my jitters and my nerves, and these people don't know who the hell I am. My name's Bob. Hey, Bob.
That's right.
I'm
That's
Bob.
right.
My name's not Michael today. I'm Bob.
I'd come check you out.
Would you?
Yeah.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah, I'd heckle you too.
I would love it.
The rebuttal, right?
I would love that. If you would heckle me, that would give me the. Right. So I need to invite 10 of my friends just to talk shit to me while I'm on stage.
That's right.
And that'll be perfect. They all get a couple drinks after the show. We're golden.
But yeah, to your point, right? I think that's who you are as a person, right? So you're a genuine person, and you genuinely want to see people happy
all day,
right? Regardless of what they're going through at the time, you want to try to make sure they're at their best.
Lighten the mood.
Lighten the mood up. Yeah. No, I get that. And I'm sure sometimes it works. And maybe it works more times than it doesn't work.
Right.
But then there's some situations where you can't just, folks are just in their own little space. And
so walk me through one of your normal days. Like when you wake up on a Monday morning, what do you do? What's a routine?
So routine for me, I get up maybe 5-ish, right? I'll meditate. So I'll do about 10 minutes of meditation. And then I'm working on this book now about healing from divorce. So I'll start writing. And then I will stretch. 7 o'clock is my CrossFit time, so I'll go 7 to 8 CrossFit.
Where do you go?
CrossFit North Lake.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I've been there 10 years, right when they opened. And then I will get my day started with work, right? So I'm emails, and then I'm on the phones and meetings.
You work from home?
Sometimes I work hybrid. So sometimes home, sometimes in the office uptown.
And you're working for a nonprofit?
No, I help nonprofits, right?
Okay.
So I work for a bank, for a bank here in Charlotte.
Oh, which bank?
Yeah.
Which bank?
The big bank.
One? Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. The big bank. I like it. Which could be a couple. That's okay.
Yeah, it could be a couple big banks.
That's right. They're all pretty big now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's my full time. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I enjoy and that's the thing, right? So for me, it took me a while to realize this, but I love helping people. So the work that I do now for my big bank job is about helping people, right? It's about helping folks that aren't financially savvy get there.
Okay.
One. And then the other part of helping is the coaching.
What would be the first advice to someone that when you said getting them there? You said you help people that don't. What was that you said?
In terms of like economic mobility, right? So helping them to learn more about their finances, about budgeting, credit.
Sure. What's the first rule?
The first rule really is the foundation. No matter what you do in life, you got to have a budget. You got to understand budgeting, right? If you can understand budgeting, then everything builds from there. Credit builds from there. Investments build from there, right? Wealth builds from there. But if you can't manage what you have, then it's not going to work. You got millionaires and billionaires that are broke, right? Or living maybe credit scores 500, 400.
How does that happen?
They don't budget. Like
they live too extreme.
I think they live with. Some of them may live not outside of their means, but they're not used to having anything to. They get so much money coming in, right? They don't have anything to worry about on the back end, right? It's almost like if you're a millionaire, you're just consistently getting money, you just spend it, right? You're not thinking about, oh, I need to save for retirement one day. What if this doesn't work out, right? What if I lose it all? What am I going to do? You're just living for the moments more so than you are somebody who may not have as much money and who needs to plan more, right? So I think it really boils down to, the lifestyle you choose to live and the mentality, right? You can have a budget. Do you stick to the budget? It's almost like working out.
Sure.
It has to be your lifestyle. Right. So how
Absolutely.
often are you checking your budget? Or are you changing your budget, right? Do you adjust as it needs to be, as you need to adjust, right? So all of those things come into play when you talk about money.
Well, if your money is variable, like every month, if it's not consistent, you're always constantly changing your budget.
It's a little different, yeah.
Because I might make X amount this month, but I might make Y the next month.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
like, whoa, okay, now I got to put the brakes on.
Right. Right.
Like if I have a bad month,
Right.
like my company, we do very, very well.
Yep.
But there are months that we have not done very well.
Yep.
And I tell all my guys that you got to plant seeds to grow corn. And if you don't harvest the corn and put it in the barn, you're not going to eat through the winter.
That's
And
the key.
so you got to eat through the winter.
That's the key.
And if you don't put any in the barn, don't call. Like we all had a chance to plant corn, and we all had a chance to harvest the corn. But don't call me when you didn't save enough corn. Because I'm always the person that they call, and I mean in my business, a lot of people will call me like, "Hey man, I'm down and out, blah blah blah." I was like, "Bro, we had harvest season 3 months ago. You didn't save enough corn. What's going on?"
Yep.
I told all you guys to start saving corn.
That's right.
I told you winter's coming.
That's
I
right.
told you the fourth quarter is going to be shit. I told you the economy's interest rates are going up. I told you gas is going to go up. I told you you need to start saving some of your corn.
Right.
And if you're out there partying like it's 1999, I'm sorry.
Discipline. Right.
It's very
It's
hard.
discipline.
Life is hard
It
to be
is.
disciplined.
It is. It is.
But it's also hard to treat yourself when you're too disciplined. There are no people that are totally the other extreme. They live their life, they're saved, they save, they go to the gym, they do everything right, blah, 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 then boom, heart attack.
That's true. That's
So there's a balance.
There is a balance.
Of having to live your life too.
And that's why I say it's important to have a budget, right? So even if budget and then a emergency savings for for the wintertime, right? If you budget, then you can budget in those fun things, right? And then, you have a certain amount of money set aside. So when that fun money runs out, then now you got to wait till the next time, right?
My dad gave me some good advice. He listens to my podcast. I'll give him some props. He used to tell me that you got 4 paychecks. And I don't know if he remembers telling me this or not, but I remember hearing it. He goes, your first paycheck goes to your overhead, which is your house and where you live. The second one goes to your bills, like your miscellaneous bills, like your phone bill, your cable bill, all your little miscellaneous bills. Okay. The third check that you get goes in the bank for savings. Okay. And then your fourth check, you blow on whatever the fuck you want. You party, you have fun, you do whatever you want to do. So the moral of that story that I got years later when I heard it, I was like, well, what do you mean, Dad? You got 4 checks. What do you mean? You party with all of them. I thought, right. No, the thing is, it's 50% of your income should be your expenses and no more. I mean, if you really evaluate what my dad said, is he goes, listen, you make X amount of money. Half of your money needs to go to what your overhead of life is. Like your eating out,
Right.
your entertainment,
Right.
your mortgage, your car payment, your phone bill. So if you make $100,000 a year,
Yep.
your bills need to be 50 or 47 after whatever taxes are, but you need to be half. And then a quarter of what you make needs to go into savings. And then I guess after tax, let's just say you netted $100,000 just to keep it even. And you go, okay, well, that means you got $25,000 to go play and party and do whatever the hell you want. You don't go buy a house and a car and spend all your 100
Right.
because your friend bought one.
Right.
Well, you know what? He might be making 200 and you're trying to keep up with him.
Keep up the Joneses.
But, I had a buddy of mine I grew up with who I got connected with. It was probably 10 years, maybe 15 years ago. I haven't heard from him in a long time, but he was a tech guy. He worked for Cisco Systems.
Okay.
And when I say friends, I mean acquaintances, just
Yep,
people
I
I've
get
come
it.
in common with.
I get it.
And he gave me a story that I thought was stupid at the time. And I'm sitting here running my business, own a house, I'm doing my thing. Like, he's telling me that he rents apartment down here, like one of these apartment complexes that's got the high rise, and they've got a concierge, and they've got a butler, got somebody that cleans his room, and he's never owned a car. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, well, I'm always traveling. I'm always on the road. I do consulting. I make X amount of money per hour. I don't even remember what the money was, but it was a pretty good amount of money he paid per hour as a consultant for Cisco Systems. And he says, okay, well, by the time I get tires for a car, go get my car inspected, go to DMV, pay my insurance, pay my taxes. Then I have property taxes on that car. If I bought a house, that means I would have to maintenance the house. That means I'd have to get air conditioning, and I'd have to get it replaced. I'd have to get a new roof. I'd have to get it painted. I'd have to get new carpet. And then I'd have all the service people that have to come to my life, and I'd have to meet there to get quotes to fix all the things that break in my life. And I go, okay. And he goes, yeah, and if I own a car, that means I'm going to be worried about the car. It means I've got to insure the car. It means I've got to put gas in the car. It means I've got to change the brakes when they go bad. It means anything that breaks, I got to fix it. And he goes, listen, I don't own anything to fix. He goes, my time is a certain amount per hour. So if I want something in life, I just work an extra hour to afford it. And then I go, okay, well, I have an apartment that someone takes care of. When I come in, I want to relax. I don't want to worry about anything. He's never had a bill sent to his house. He all paid his bills. What bill does he have? He has one credit card. He has no car payments. He owns no house. He has an apartment. And the apartment takes care of everything. And they also get groceries when he texts them because he has a concierge. So I'm sitting here. He's living in hotels. He takes taxis and cabs. And he travels. And he stays in hotels. But he comes home. And he comes home to his apartment. And he's like, if I want to do anything in life, I just rent it. I just rent it. I enjoy the entertainment value of what I rented, but I come out ahead because he's a numbers guy and he had this spreadsheet.
Gotcha.
And he goes, the amount of money that I spent on insurance, the amount of money I spent on maintenance, the time he lost in revenue, I don't even remember the numbers, but it was astonishing because if you look at the chart over 15 years of what he spent in time lost, and on dealing with problems and maintenance and taxes and DMV and all the things that you have to do, go get your car inspected, take your car in for oil change. Take the time that you have in life and allocate it just to you. And he gave me a breakdown.
Wow.
I understand it at this age.
Yeah.
I didn't before. And I'm like, he was brilliant.
Wow.
It was brilliant. He goes, why do I ever want to own a house? Why?
Wow.
That means I got to pay to somebody to cut the grass. I got to own a lawnmower. I got to deal with neighbors. I got to deal with insurance. I got to deal with property taxes. I got to deal with things that break. He goes, I don't want to ever deal with anything that breaks.
Yeah.
I want no maintenance in my life.
He was low maintenance guy.
Like zero.
Yeah.
Imagine waking up and saying, man, I just want to go to Miami and stay there at a hotel and live on the beach for a day. Well, I want to rent a boat with me and my buddies and go out on a boat. What I'm saying is he can enjoy life. And he can budget, like you said, those entertainment factors of life.
Yeah.
But he's going to spend the time he was going to meet a contractor at his house, deal with his landscaper, deal with his lawn guy, deal with this. And you know what? Those hours were now his own.
That works for him.
Yeah.
That works for him.
I was like, man, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I would think, I guess for me, it'd be like, damn, the taxes. If you're making all that money, you're going to get crushed in taxes.
Sure.
Right? So, but I guess he said, hey, it's not, it's okay, right? Because this lifestyle that I'm choosing to live, I'm good with the taxes. I can afford the taxes.
You know what he
I'll pay
said?
for 'em.
You know what he said when you pay taxes? It's the cost of success.
The cost of success, huh?
It's the cost of success.
Yeah. Just like the cost of owning a car.
It's the cost of everything. It's the cost of his success.
I ain't mad at that. I don't know if that could be me, but yeah, if that works for him.
I've literally in my conversations at bars when I would go randomly at hotels, I'll be sitting there and I'll talk to people and I'm like, yeah, when I'm like 55, I'm going to sell everything. I'm not going to own a damn thing. I'm going to rent a house. I'm going to rent everything. Yeah. And if something breaks, I'm calling them saying, you fix it. Like I theorize this and I think I would like to try it, but like, how can you not own things? Like that's what's hard is the ownership. But the young millennials, they have a little bit of that mentality.
They do.
They don't want to own a lot of stuff.
No, they got Uber, they got Lyft, right? They don't need cars.
Why do they want to do anything?
Especially if you're living in a big city.
Yeah, you living around here. What do you want a car for?
Yeah,
just Uber wherever you want to go, travel.
Do one of those little scooters, right?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. No,
so what's the next 5 years look like for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I would love to get my coaching business full time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll finish this book up here, and
who's going to publish the book?
I'm gonna do self-publishing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Amazon?
marketing myself. Yeah, Amazon, all the.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm doing myself.
That's
right?
awesome.
So I got an editor now. I got to get my second draft to her by the end of this week. So
Okay.
she's on me.
Okay.
And then just use that and help people, right? So I don't subscribe to having the 5 years figured out, right? I know the general direction I want to go in,
Okay.
and that's helping people, right? So for me, I just live life in that direction,
Okay.
right? So everything that I do is centered around helping people, and then I allow I allow my 5 years to unfold from there.
So your number one goal is to help people.
It's help people.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm doing that right now, right?
It's fulfilling.
It's fulfilling.
So
yeah.
your woman, what's her name?
Keisha.
Keisha. So what does she do?
She is in technology. She's a project manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys stay together?
We have separate houses, but
Okay.
we are at each other's house most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you got it.
Yeah, back and forth.
Now does she say that shit ain't working on me?
Well, look, at the end of the day, money's coming in.
No, she's over there like, I don't care how much damn coaching and relationship shit you doing. That shit ain't working on me.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
she's fully supportive. Like
She is?
Yeah, because she knows that,
Right.
I'm never going to not work. I'm never going to not bring in money.
No, I'm
Right?
talking about basically that I don't care how much coaching you've had, Andre.
Yeah.
I don't care how many relationships you've helped.
Yeah,
That shit ain't working on me. Like
The coaching.
yeah, like you can't mind manipulate her. Like I call it the Jedi mind trick. You've had all this coaching and all these words and all these vocabulary, and then you come over and you know, you ever seen the Jedi where he goes,
yeah.
you don't remember anything?
Yeah.
That shit ain't
Obi-Wan
work-
did it in Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah,
And
nothing
he-
to see here now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work. No. But you know what? I think back to this too, right? I got certified. I got coaching to help my relationships.
Right.
So this helps my relationships.
It does.
Yeah, it makes me a better communicator. But I still again, right? I still do stupid shit.
We
right?
all
I
do.
Still, yeah, I still.
I wake up
stuff.
stupid sometimes.
Right. I think it's just it's human nature, right?
But you have good habits.
Yeah.
You said you wake up, you meditate,
Yeah.
you're doing this. So you finish that, because I know I got you off topic, but finish your day. You said lunchtime, you're at home, you work sometimes. Then take me through an evening. What's an evening look like for you?
Cooking. I like to cook.
Do you?
Right. Yeah. So
What's your favorite?
I do a HelloFresh.
What?
I don't want to give them too many problems, but yeah, have you heard of the HelloFresh?
Uh-uh.
So it's a food service, right? So they just send you the ingredients
Okay.
of meal, and they give you instructions on how to make that.
That's cool.
I do the vegan,
Okay.
and I've done the pescatarian because I'm trying to get out this beef and pork, and
Really?
although I still eat it, but I don't eat as much of it.
Explain why. Do you really think all the research is real?
I think
Do you-
there's some truth to it.
You do?
I think there's some truth to it.
We're not supposed
Yeah.
to be eating meat?
The meat that we're eating now is just so hormonal.
It is. It's not the
injected
same.
and-
It's
yeah,
inflated.
unless you're getting the grass fed and
Paying a lot of money.
paying a lot of money.
To eat healthy costs,
it costs
a lot of money.
Yeah, you can go to McDonald's or Burger King, get like a $10 and get like a whole meal family of 4 and feed them,
yeah.
right? Versus
But it's not real food.
it's not.
It's processed.
It is.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
all
what's killing us.
It's killing
It's
everybody.
killing us, yeah.
What kills me is that when I walk through the mall, or even when I'm on like vacation and I see like I'll be on like a boardwalk somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing 6-7-year-old kids that are just huge,
Mhm.
eating ice cream, eating all this stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting there going, "Mom's big, sister's big, son's big," and they want to know why we have diabetes. They want to know why, but they're on vacation. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we ever going to get? When are we ever going to get to a point where this is abuse? You're setting up your kid for a failure in life. I was not super fat, but I was a fat kid.
Right.
And the only reason I was is because I didn't have a lot of friends, and
Right.
I was insecure. And my
Right.
mom, my dad was traveling a lot, and when he was home, he was cool. But like, my mom just wanted to make me happy.
Right.
Oh, Dad, you want a Hardee's double cheeseburger? Oh, you want ice cream?
Right.
And they didn't realize, because mothers just want to soothe and comfort and love,
That's
and
right.
they don't know they're doing damage.
Yep.
You don't know it
You don't.
until all of a sudden it creeps up, and it's like, holy shit! Like, you're in husky jeans,
Yep.
and now you're going to Sears and ordering Triple E
Yep.
shoes, and you're like, what the fuck?
But Mike, the money is not in the cure; it's in the medicine, right? So if I can get you hooked on McDonald's and Burger King and all these other crazy fast food, processed food, then you're gonna pay, right? You're gonna pay for diabetes medicine. You're gonna pay for higher blood pressure medicine, And as you get older, guess what? It gets more expensive, right? So the money is the money is not in the cure.
Do you think that people accidentally did this, or is it someone behind it? Like how are people really behind that?
Oh, I don't know. Well,
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
Sometimes it's marketing, right?
It's just marketing.
It's marketing, right? I'm going to market the product to you because it's making me money. It's a business, right? At the end of the day, it's a business. So if I have to, I mean, you're a business owner, right? So you understand the more money I make, the better shareholders and everything, right? So again, I can put out a salad at McDonald's, but who's going to order a salad at McDonald's? You're going to get fries.
A few people
might order it, right? But the kids, they want fries.
I couldn't tell you the last time I've been to McDonald's.
I don't do McDonald's. Now, I'll do their fries every once in a while.
You know what I did when I was on the road when we raced motocrosses? I'd go by because there would be a McDonald's in the middle of wherever, West Virginia, and I'd get their pancakes. So like when I get up early, I'd be like, their biscuits are not horrible, but like it was the only place I had to eat. Like we were on the road, I'll be like, here's, get some pancakes or something.
I feel healthy with pancakes. I mean, pancakes, you can't really go wrong, right? I mean,
I like pancakes.
The syrup is probably the worst part of the pancake. Yeah. But I think the food is it is
you
what
eat
it
pizza?
is. Every so often. I've been trying to cut out cheese. I'm my lactose. I save my girlfriends and I want to pass gas. And
Don't eat that before you go to bed.
Right.
Yeah, I got to get lactose-free ice cream too.
Yeah. It's things we do as we get older, right?
Yeah. So you're writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get that out. When do you think that's going to be done?
Early fall.
Early fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it before my birthday.
How many chapters?
Right now it's 7.
Okay.
Yeah, around 7.
And the name of the book is?
Don't have a working title right now.
It's a working title.
Working title.
Well, let's come up with that title.
Yeah.
Let's do it right now.
Oh wow.
I want to hear some thoughts. What are your thoughts?
We were born to heal.
We were born to heal.
We were born to heal.
I like that one.
Yeah. Right, because the whole premise behind it is healing physically is the same as healing mentally and emotionally. It follows a similar pattern. When you first injure your hand or injure your body, the pain is very sharp. You're like, oh my God, this hurts. I can't take it. But as you start to, as time moves forward, right, you take care of your hand, right? You put a Band-Aid on it. You put some alcohol on it, right? You take care. You may not lose your left hand. Yeah. You might use your right hand more now, right? So then it starts to heal on its own.
Right.
If we follow those same principles in our divorce, in our mental and emotional turmoil, then you will heal naturally. But you got to have that self-care routine in place.
You still friends with your ex-wife?
We're super cool.
You're super cool.
Yeah. Travel together, watch her kid.
She's cool.
Super cool. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Good for you.
Yeah,
she remarried?
She got remarried. Yes, she did. Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I was over there, me and my girlfriend, for my son's birthday. She invited us over to the house, and we were hanging out.
How is that possible when a lot of people think that injury and that divorce is such an ending thing? It's like you're making it work. You're working together.
Didn't start out that way.
But you healed.
Yeah, it did heal. Yeah, it took time.
Okay. Did she heal?
She is too. Yeah. We didn't start out that way. We started out just
hating each other.
Yeah. But over time, we realized that, number one, our son, he was the most important thing, right? So regardless of how we feel about each other, let's make sure we come together for our son.
Right.
Let's not badmouth each other in front of our son, because that's not fair to him.
Right.
We don't want to make him choose sides. And then at the end of the day, I want to see you happy, right? You're the mother of my child.
Right.
I don't want anything bad to happen to you, because that's indirectly going to affect me, because my son's going to be sad.
Right.
And vice versa. So over time, we just learned to accept each other for who we were. Right?
A lot of people need to learn that.
Yeah, it takes time.
You're going to coach that?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
I do.
The world needs you.
The world
Big
needs
time.
me. Yeah.
So what's a coaching session? What's it run?
Right now, $85.
That's it?
Yes,
that's cheap.
Yeah, they're very cheap. Yeah,
wow.
I'm not out here to make. Damn, it's money, but I don't.
That's good
need
though.
That money,
that's
right?
reasonable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say cheap. Let me rephrase my words. That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So again, right. So for me right now, the goal is more about helping the people. It's about building my clientele.
Is it just a lot of listening? A lot of people just opening up.
A lot of listening.
Just getting things off their chest.
A lot of listening. A lot of perspective. Right. So a lot of women want a male perspective, and a lot of men want to hear from another guy, because men, believe it or not, we're emotional. Like, we just don't show it.
We're very emotional.
Very emotional, right?
I'll cry in a second.
Will you?
All day. All day. I cry at movies, man. I'm the guy right there.
Like, who's this big 6'1",
Hey,
almost
hey,
with the shoes on, 250 guy crying.
If I'm crying, but I can cry happy.
Yes.
See, that's the difference.
Yeah. But you're secure in who you are.
Oh, 100%.
So it doesn't matter.
I know
That
who I
doesn't
am.
that define your masculinity.
No,
right?
not at all. I think crying is actually a soothing thing because it actually heals.
Yeah, it does.
Like it gets the impurities out of your body. It's like breathing in toxins. Like when you ever see the detox.
Yep.
Like you take, you go to like GNC and you get a detox.
Yep.
Bro, I just need a good fucking cry.
Yeah.
I'm
that's all it
detox,
is.
bro. I'm
That's
good.
all
Next
it
morning I
is.
wake up. All right, have my colon cleanse. I have my cry. I'm good, man.
Yeah. Most
So.
men won't admit that. That's
Really?
good. Yeah. A lot of men won't admit that.
I don't know. I think they're stupid.
Yeah, I think we need more of that, though, right? I think to your point, right? So I think the times in the world is shifting, right? I think there's more women out here now in the C-suite corporate level, right? They're getting that money. They're getting higher degrees and more degrees than some men. And then the men are it's kind of reversed, almost like Mr. Mom. Remember Mr. Mom? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's more like they're, taking more charge, and the men are kind of coming back. Not all, but some. And I think a little bit more emotional, right? I think just in the men that I've talked to and been able to talk to, they've been able to expose themselves to me from a vulnerable perspective. And maybe they just feel comfortable because I'm a coach and that's what I do. But I think it's more about how do you change the narrative? Like, how do you not buy into what society says you should be and just be you, right? So if you're feeling like you need to express yourself in an emotional way, then go ahead and do it.
I just
Why
always
not?
say own it.
Why not?
I walk right into a problem.
Yeah.
I never want to run from it. I want to walk right into it, head it on,
Right.
and just say, I own it.
Right.
Like, if I fucked up, I fucked up,
fucked
man.
up.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
What do we do to solve this problem right now?
That's right.
Because tomorrow, I'm going to sleep in it tonight, and tomorrow this problem's gone away.
It's going away.
So I live by what's called the 24-hour reset.
Okay.
So when I go to bed at night, I wake up in the morning with 0 problems. I don't
like
have a
that.
single problem in the morning.
I like that.
Because whatever problems I'm going to face that day, like today when I woke up this morning, I have a whole new set of problems that are going to face me today.
That's right.
And if I didn't solve yesterday's problems, they're yesterday's.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning with a clear conscience, a clear head. I wake up pure.
Do you meditate?
Here's the thing. I wouldn't say I normally meditate, but I do a lot of self-reflecting.
Okay.
And I close my eyes. And I guess you could call it meditating, but like on the planes, I travel quite a bit. And every once in a while I'll watch a movie or something. But 90% of the time, like I flew back from London, it was 10 hours. I didn't sleep. I didn't talk to anybody. All I did was plan out my next week, my next month, my next year, and opportunities that are facing me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm playing chess in my head. But I'm also evaluating myself. What are my goals? What do I want to accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
And how much of a difference am I going to make in anyone else's life? But I'm also, what's important to me?
Mm.
I don't even know sometimes when I wake up. I say, what's important to me?
Mm-hmm.
And if I was going to have 24 hours to live, or say a month to live, what would I want to accomplish in that month?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had a lot of near-death experiences in my life. I've had, all types of different, issues. I was, I don't know if you know this, but I had a really bad back surgery that put my left knee down to my left foot. I had very bad nerve damage. I had to almost relearn how to walk.
Oh, wow.
And I used to jump rope and do boxing and gym, and like I was a beast. And I still am a beast, but I'm a slower beast. I have to pace myself.
Mm-hmm.
So all the living I'm doing, I'm living because I have had traumatic experiences.
Mm.
And so I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful for today.
Yep.
And I've lived through a lot of pain, and I'm still in a lot of pain. I'm in pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I don't take medicine. Like I take a couple of anti-inflammatories, and that's about it.
Wow.
And my foot's numb. Like, you ever had a foot fall asleep?
Mm-hmm.
It tingles.
Mm-hmm.
My foot's tingling, my calf's tingling, and it feels like pins and needles in it 24 hours a day, all day. Like, when I walk, I'm literally having to like grip my feet. My 2 front toes are like this because they're constantly digging, trying to find the ground. Like they're permanently like.
Wow.
And so I get up every day and I want to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. But a year ago, I could barely do the things I'm doing today. Now I can do them. So mentally, I'm so powerful.
Wow.
And if I can accomplish those goals, then the rest of life is easy. Like when people say they have problems, I go, okay. I had a guy tell me one time, he goes, man, I'm just so anxiety. I have so many problems and my life is falling apart. And I go, okay. Do you have a house? Yep. Do you have kids? Yeah, they're healthy. Great. Do you have beer in the fridge? Yep. You have money in the bank? Yep. Is the repo guy coming to get your car? Nope. Do you have a job? Yep. I said, can you touch your toes? Yep. I said, jump up and down for me real quick. He goes, yep. I said, motherfucker, you ain't got no problems. You ain't got no problems, man. Like, you ain't got no problems. None of your kids are in the hospital. Okay? You can jump up and down. I can't jump with my left foot anymore.
Right.
Okay? So that's not a problem. It's don't tell yourself you have problems you don't have.
Right.
That's what I feel like a lot of the world does is they create problems.
Yeah. It's relative, right? It's relative to your environment. You don't know any different. So, for example, you travel, so I'm sure you've seen some very, like, third world country impoverished people.
Yeah.
Right? I was in Kenya. I saw an orphanage where I was about to throw away a water bottle. God was like, no, don't throw that away. Give it to the kids. Kids take it. They put rocks in it. It's a rattler. Right. So that's cool. That's a whole nother level of living. So when you see that lifestyle, you're like, I got a house. Like I just have, I have a car. Like the things that they don't have, I do. So I can't be mad about the things that I do have. Like I gotta appreciate all these things.
So tell me about Egypt.
Oh, Egypt, man, it was amazing. You know, it's funny because, you know, you learn some things about Egypt and Africa in school, but then when you get there, it's a totally different experience.
Explain that experience.
So, for example, hieroglyphics. I thought hieroglyphics were, it was like, you know, words and phrases that meant some secret code, and it's just the Egyptian alphabet.
It's the Egyptian alphabet,
right? So letters mean certain.
So you
words,
saw a tomb that was where they did the mummification.
Yeah.
Okay, and they took all the organs out.
Yeah. So they got these tombs that the kings were buried in, right? So they buried them, and it's funny because, you know, in the Bible it talks about the Valley of the Kings, right? So this is the Valley of the Kings where they're buried, and in these tombs they have, depending on how long the king lived, is how big the tombs are. They have chambers in these tombs, and each chamber held something different, right? So you had the furniture of the kings, you had the organs that were mummified, you had the, other things that they felt like they needed because they believed in the afterlife.
Right, they were going to live somewhere else.
Yeah, so they weren't going to come back and assume the same role they had in before they died, and then at some point they were going to be judged by these 12 gods, and if the gods said they were worthy to get to heaven, then that's where they were going. If they said they weren't worthy, then guess where they're going, right? But then the heart was the only organ that wasn't mummified. Because the heart.
Okay.
Because they believed that if the gods, 6 gods said yay, heaven, 6 said no, hell, then you got to tie. You got to weigh the heart on a scale with the feather. So if the heart weighed more than the feather, right, you're going to heaven. But if the feather weighed more than the heart.
Micah, you hear that?
Now you're going to hell.
Micah, you hear that?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Your heart better weigh more than
your
a freaking feather.
Your heart better weigh more than a feather, Mike.
I mean, how much does a feather weigh? Like nothing.
Your heart should naturally weigh more than a feather.
It should naturally weigh more.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's
so
pretty
tight,
right? Though.
And then the key of life, right? So it's the Nile River, right? That's the source of life, right? And then you have this little I don't know if you've seen the key of life, but it's like a half circle, and then it's almost like the cross, but it's the river, the Nile River, that separates the upper part of Egypt from the lower parts. I think it was Alexandria. Can't remember the other cities that it separated from. Cairo, maybe. And then, you know, it just symbolizes that they want to make sure that life is good, right? This Nile River, that's where they got their source of everything. And it's just the culture of things, right? So you go to these temples and they show you where they sacrifice the lambs and, you know, the stuff they talked about in the Bible. But yeah, I mean, it was a different culture, right? It was an early culture. I didn't realize that Cleopatra was not Egyptian.
Oh.
She was not. She was Greek.
Greek?
Yeah. But Hollywood portrayed her as Egyptian, right? She had a fascination with the Egyptian culture. But no, she wasn't. I was like, really? Huh. So you learn little things like that when
That's
you go
cool.
to these countries.
You know the aliens built the
I know.
they had to.
Right.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I know. I've been watching the Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched that.
I've seen some of them.
It's eye opening.
Yeah.
There's some truths that could possibly be truths to it. There are some theories, and they're fun to listen to, but it's like, could you imagine being back in that time and seeing construction of one of
No.
those? How accurate they were.
No.
It was accurate.
Accurate.
It's the details and the accuracy is what mind boggles me,
Yeah.
because I don't even think we could build them today.
Be tough. Be tough with all the technology we have. It'd be tough.
It'd be tough to build them
Yeah.
with the same materials, and I just think it'd
Yeah,
be
and
very
these
tough.
freaking these pyramids, like the stones they use to build. I mean, they're like tons.
Tons.
they're huge, right?
Multi-tons.
Yeah.
Who lifted them?
They got these camels and I mean,
I don't know.
it
Camel
took-
can't
it
lift
took-
that much.
It took hundreds and thousands of people
And
and
rope
shit.
systems and like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
If I could take a time machine back, it would probably be back then.
To
I'd
see
like
if
to see
they
that.
really- how
Yeah,
they
I'd
did
like to
that.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way that they're aligned to the stars.
Yeah, it's a
Right, how
craziness. I told you the aliens, they had to do it.
You think they have some influence?
I don't know. Do you think we're alone? Do you think there's other planets out there where there's life? I think there is.
I think there's life outside of us. Yeah, yeah. I think we're inhabiting our bodies. Right, we're spirits. We're spiritual beings. So there's a spirit within us, and then there's the shell, which is the body, which is what we see.
Right.
Right, and I think the shell is what gets us in trouble. Right, so the mind, the flesh is weak, but I think the spirit is whole. Regardless of who you are, I think we all have a whole spirit within us. I think
Right.
it just gets.
Do you think there's
outside
other
this thing.
planets out there with little green men on it?
I don't know if they're green. They may be purple. Yeah,
I don't know.
I believe there's
There's
life.
got to be. I mean, I look at animals, okay? I look at animals on the planet, the ones that were here before us, and then I look at fish,
Yep.
and I look at all these different, like, species.
Yep.
Like, just like when you said a butterfly, you
Yep.
see this, you know, when you watch National Geographic and you watch Discovery Channel
Yep.
and you see life and you see these animals and all these things, it's like, what if they were really more intelligent? What if they had more intelligent life like us? And all these animals could talk like us. I mean, what I'm saying is, like, what keeps a dog from talking to us? They're talking to us. They're just not speaking English.
in our English. That's right. That's
So
right.
what I'm saying is that it's everyone. If you look at every species, they're talking. You said lions are, talking, right? They're just not speaking English.
That's right. That's right.
So all the planets have got to have some type of life source. They're speaking. They're just speaking in their language.
Yeah. And why does it have to be water
I don't know.
that we need on another? But what if they don't drink water?
Well, I don't know. Water is made up of what, 70, 80% of our body?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, they're an alien, so they may not need
Yeah,
water.
maybe.
They may just need whatever they need.
I don't know.
And that planet has it.
It's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, but I do believe, like, I don't think we as humans are smart enough to create like a gnat. Like, why would we create a gnat or a fruit fly? Like, why would we do that?
Somebody must have left some garbage because we've been fighting fruit flies. I've literally never had fruit flies in my life. Somebody left some garbage out in there, took it out today, and they all migrated back here.
So some alien said,
created. I'm going to create a fruit fly to
a fruit
bug
fly
the shit
to
out
bug
of.
the shit out of
That's
you.
what they did.
Like,
They-
we wouldn't do that as
No,
people.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we wouldn't be that smart.
Yeah. So what's the secret to success in a relationship?
I think it's really,
No,
again,
I don't want to think. I want you to tell me what you know. What's the secret?
It's accepting the person for who they are.
Accepting the person
Yeah,
for who they are. That's
yeah.
number one.
That's number one.
If you can accept the person for who they are,
Yeah.
that's a secret to success in a relationship.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
what's number two?
I would say it would be make sure you grow together and you support each other, right?
Support each other and grow together.
Yeah, yeah.
Love
So
it.
if I have goals and things that I want to do, you're going to allow me to do those things within reason, right? If I'm a 48-year-old wannabe football player, that's not in reason, right? But support that, because I believe that if you support me, then ultimately you're supporting us, right? And I have to do the same thing for you. We got to make sure we're coming together,
Right.
in order to grow together, right? And support each other's dreams.
What else?
I would say make sure you fight fairly.
Fight fairly. I
And
like
not
that one.
physically fight, of course, right? There's
I
no
like that one.
abuse.
I don't fight fair.
You don't fight fair?
No, I don't.
You got to fight fair.
I cheat, man. Are you kidding me?
You got to fight fair.
You know, my kids, it was funny. We were sitting at my youngest and oldest son were both sitting there, and there were a couple of their friends in the kitchen, and they were sitting at the bar, and they were talking shit, and I said, all right, what's up, man? And he goes, man, I looked at him, and I said, I'm going to kick your ass or something. We were talking junk. My two boys, they're cool dudes, and I was literally talking junk, being a dad. And then my oldest son, he said, hell no. And I said, I'll run. He said, you can't catch me. And I said, you got to sleep sometime. So
you don't fight fair.
I don't fight fair. I come in, pillows, 10, 11, 12, midnight, 2 in the morning, I'll get up. I'm getting mine. I'm gonna get mine. I told you got to go to sleep sometime.
Right.
But
you have to right. You got to understand the other person's perspective, right? And listen, and really work to understand where they're coming from, and try to do what they're asking you to do, and vice versa, right?
I think one thing that works for me in relationships is give me one task at a time. Don't come at me with the 5 things you hate about me today, or the 5 things you're pissed off about. Give me one and let me fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me one.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow give me another one.
Mm-hmm.
But don't come at me with like this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
Because all I'm going to do is get pissed off, run away, and say, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But if you come at me and say, hey, Mike, listen, got a problem. And here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is this situation, this is bothering me or
Right.
whatever. And then I can work on that.
That's right.
Okay, because I'm a man, and men can't multitask more than really anything. I mean, we can, but when we want to solve a problem, give me the one problem.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give me 10. Give me the one, and let me focus on it. And then when I focus, because I have hyper focus, I'm ADD. I can't. I'm all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hyperactive. But when you give me a task and say, and you calmly look at me, and you talk to me in a calm voice,
Right.
then I'm going to be calm.
Right.
But if you're coming at me and you raise your voice, I'm raising my voice.
That's right.
It's instinctive.
That's right.
And I don't mean to do it, but
That's
then
right.
all of a sudden that I wait, and then obviously we never hurt each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't hear you, you don't hear me. All we're doing is talking over each other.
Mm-hmm.
So calmly come at me,
Mm-hmm.
calmly give me one obstacle you want me to fix,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll fix it. I'll do the best I can, because I constantly try to improve.
Right.
I will admit fault. And I think that's what a lot of men forget, is they've got to admit fault. If they own it quick,
Mm-hmm.
it's like my kids. I go, hey, did you guys sleep? Did you leave the milk out? It wasn't me.
You're right.
Wasn't me.
Right, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
wasn't nobody. It wasn't
I didn't drink last little milk. No, I don't know.
It wasn't nobody.
But if
That's
they
right.
would just own it and say, yeah, Dad, I drank that shit. Oh, okay, cool. And then next time, don't do that crap,
Just
or
don't
tell
do it again.
Right.
Yeah, kids
Just
got to learn that.
own it.
They got to own it. You're right. The thing too, it's funny because I like the way you said that, right? So if my partner understands that, it's all good, right? So she knows if she escalates her voice, I'm going to escalate my voice as well. Then now that you have awareness, you can do things differently. And I think people don't do that, right? And another thing they don't do is they don't focus on what's working. They always hyper focus and be sensitive and want to bring up the things that are not working. You know what? Let me choose to focus on what you do bring to the table.
Right.
Versus what you don't bring to the table. Because we all bring or are lacking in something, right? But if I can focus on your good, then life the relationships tend to be better.
When I do business coaching and I go into a business and I first find something positive to say, then I go into the meat and potatoes of what I think needs to be fixed.
That's right.
And then I end on something very positive,
Right.
very encourageable.
Right.
And they heard the beginning, they heard the end, and they were like, well, he kind of told me I need to fix something, but he gave me a really pat on the back about this. And then he turned around and gave me a goal and said, I need, this accomplishment will be great, but you're working toward it. It's like, don't go right into the problem.
Right.
Like I love what you just said. Go in to find something positive to say about the relationship. Say, hey, baby, I love the way you hold me, or I love the way you cooked dinner last night, or this. But this right here, I got a little bit of an issue. Okay. And then end up going, hey, I'll give you a back rub tonight.
You end on a positive, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. I love that you do this, man. And
Yeah.
I love that you found this outlet for your life.
Yeah.
And So how long is it going to take you to get this next level started? It's going to be the journey. The next 5 years of your life is the book, then the coaching, and then you said your life's dream is to get out there and help more people.
Yeah.
How do we make more Andres?
Oh man, wow. You know what? I don't think we need to make more Andres. We need to make more of whoever is the person, right? But we just need to get them to understand who they are and really operate and be in that space that they're comfortable with who they are, right? So now that you're comfortable, you just do you, right? Because ultimately, I believe that there's more good people in this world than bad. Right?
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So
I do agree with that.
So if you can take that and in your circle of influence, be a positive role model to somebody,
right?
You know, that's all you can do.
Question: do you text your friends that you haven't talked to in a long time?
Every so often, but I pick up the phone a lot of times too.
I know I do this. I'll pick 5 people usually a week, and I'll text people I haven't talked to in a long time, and I'll say, "Hey man, I'm thinking about you." And it's people that made a difference in my life, people that were influential to me, and I'll reach out to them that I haven't talked to in a while, and I'll try to do that more often than none. And I'll be, hey man, I'm thinking about you today, man. Just want to let you know you made a difference in my life, man. And I just constantly plant those good seeds back in good people.
I like it.
And then what happens is we get busy in our lives, we get busy in our relationships, we get busy in what we're doing, and we forget about who got us here. Mm-hmm. We forget about those really good people in your life that you don't talk to on a random, but you need them back in your circle.
Right.
So I'll reach out and I'll plant seeds back out to those people. And I'll be like, hey man, I just want to let you know I was on the way to the gym this morning, man. I was thinking about you, man, and I just want to say what's up.
That's what's up. I like that.
So randomly text a few people that you haven't connected with in a while.
I'm gonna do that.
And it's you know what's so cool is when they start hitting you back and they go, bro, I'll be watching you on Facebook, man. You be killing it, man. I'm supporting you. And the thing is, one thing I always say is, if you're my friend, you're going to support me in my life's goals. I'm going to support you now. You're now my friend, Andre, and I'm going to support you in your life's journey. Like if you say, Mike, I need your support. I need you to support me in my life's journey. And I was like, hell yeah, I got you.
Right.
I'm going to definitely support you.
Right.
I see where you're going.
Yep.
I like your journey. I like where you're going. I can hop on that journey. I can hop on that bandwagon. But if you're going down a journey that's not really for me, I'll be like, hey, Andre, you do you, bro. That's, if you're drinking that Kool-Aid, that's great for you.
No judgment.
Yeah, I don't judge.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm cool. But if I can say, hey, man, I'm getting behind what you're doing because I believe in what you're doing. But you need to just tell every friend how I am telling people now. You like me or dislike me. It's not important. What is do you support me in where I'm going? I'm trying to become a better person every day. I'm trying to coach more people. I'm trying to make a difference. And it's not just try. I am making a difference in this world. And I know I'm making a difference in this world. So I tell everyone in my life, hop on and support me.
Yep.
Support my journey.
Yep. I get it.
That's all I ask, man. Just support me.
Yeah. You're going to get, I believe in God. I believe in a God, right? So I believe that God is going to give you, he's going to make that happen for you, right? I think he's going to continue to, success is a world definition, right? But I think he's going to continue to allow you to reach your goals and be successful in whatever because you're helping people, right? At the end of the day, that's what we're here for, right? I always say our lives are not our own, right? We're here for a purpose, and I think part of that purpose is to help people. That's what you're doing. Right?
Love it.
In your business, your coaching. Your kid. You're doing this.
And you're doing the same.
You're going to be reported.
That's why Gatlin said, bro, you got to meet my boy Andre. Like, we were having breakfast the other day when I was giving him some sponsorship for his betting.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, man, I need some cool cats on my podcast. Yeah. And he's like, bro, I got the coolest cat. This dude right here is real.
That's my dude.
Yeah, he speaks very highly of you, man.
Yeah,
he loves you.
Yeah, that's my dude, man.
He told me that I needed to meet you.
He's like a mentor to me.
He is to me too now. He's like that soft, he's just got that really clarity. And what I like is, and the clearest word I can say is clarity.
Yep.
There's no cloudy with him. It's clear. Like when you see him, there's no thunderstorm. There's no rain. It's just clear.
Yep.
It's like a clear pair of sunglasses. You just like, it's like when you're hanging around Kev, man, it's just clear.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I've seen the journey, right? So where he's been to where he is now.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you gotta love a.
How do you not support him though? This is what I'm trying to tell you. When you find somebody that's on a journey, how do you not get on that journey and support your friends that are doing what they're doing. Like he's got a cool story, and he's doing him.
Yeah. No, that's the only way. That's
all
hate.
I can tell you is thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah,
You're a real dude,
and
thanks for coming. And I know it's been a minute. We got to wrap it up, but we're here with Andree. Your book is untitled yet, but it's about how you heal yourself through a divorce and how you coach people in life. And Micah's got you on our YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes, and we love the shares, and people can listen to you and see what's up. And thanks for coming on the show, my friend.
Follow me on IG as well.
IG?
Yeah.
And what's that?
adVancetogrow.
adVancetogrow on IG.
Yeah,
all right. I love it. I'm going to follow you today, and I'm going to share your things, and I'm going to support you.
I'm going to support you too.
I appreciate it, my friend.
Mike, it's been real, man. Thank you for having me on.